All right, in order to solve an equation, we need to get our equation into the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 so that we can use our null factor law. So let's have a look at our first one. We have 5x squared minus 18x equals 8, and we want to take that 8 across so that we've got 5x squared minus 18x minus 8 equals 0. Now we can see that this is in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And what we've got is that our a value is 5, our b value is negative 18, and our c value is negative 8. Make sure that the sign follows with the number, okay? And when we're factorizing non-monic quadratics, so quadratics that have got a number other than 1 in front of the x squared, we're going to use the a multiplied by c method, so the multiply, add, and subtract method. Or if you've been taught the cross method, that's all good as well. So I say a multiplied by c, and that's 5 times negative 8. And that gives me negative 40. And I need to look for all of the factors of 40, which could add or subtract to give me my negative 18. And I can see immediately that 2 times 20 could be rearranged to be negative 20 plus 2, and that would give me my negative 18. So I'm going to write that as 5x squared minus 20x plus 2x minus 8 equals 0. Notice I'm expanding my minus 18, and then I'm going to factorize by grouping. So 5x, and I'm left with x, take 4, and take out a common 2 there, and I'm left with x, take 4. And if I've done it correctly, I've got 2 terms that can be factorized out as common factors. In this case, x take 4, and what's left over is the 5x plus 2. I then say, using the null factor law, and I have x equals 4 or x equals negative 2/5. Let's have a look at the second part of this question. So we've been given that x equals 2 and x equals negative 2 are zeros of a quadratic, form the linear factors, and expand the product of these factors. So we need to know that zeros mean that those are solutions to the quadratic. So that is where our parabola crosses the x-axis. So we're actually working backwards from the end of the question. If we look at the previous one, x equals 4 or x equals negative 2/5, we're going to work backwards to get our brackets and to get our original equation. So what we've been given is x equals 2 or x equals negative 2, and we can create our original brackets from that. So we then have x minus 2 multiplied by x plus 2 is equal to 0, and we can expand that to be x squared minus 4 equals 0. Now if this were a quadratic in terms of y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, what we would have found is when we found our solutions, we would have put our y equal to 0, and that divides out the a value. So in this case, we actually can't say that we're definitely sure that x squared minus 4 was the original equation. Actually, our original equation would probably have looked like this. It could have been any multiple of x squared minus 4. So it would have looked more like this: y equals a x squared minus 4.